Have you ever wondered why, in moments of distress and hardship, certain verses of the Quran bring an overwhelming sense of peace? Why is it that people turn to a specific surah when they feel lost, afraid, or uncertain about the future? The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The best of you are those who learn the Quran and teach it to others." Sahih al-Bukhari. This profound hadith reminds us of the immense wisdom and healing power that the Quran holds for us in all situations, especially during times of difficulty. One surah in particular stands out. It's recited at funerals, during sickness, in financial hardship, and even in moments of emotional turmoil. But have you ever asked yourself, why? We often hear our elders advising us to recite this surah when we face life struggles. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, uncertainty in our careers, or a feeling of hopelessness that creeps into our hearts, this surah seems to be the refuge that people seek. But why is this surah considered so powerful? What secrets does it hold that provide comfort and healing, time and time again? In today's video, we'll uncover the deep wisdom behind why this surah is recited every time something bad happens. We'll explore its profound meanings, the spiritual benefits it offers, and the incredible ways it has transformed lives throughout history. This topic is more relevant today than ever before. In a world filled with uncertainty, anxiety, and challenges that seem to grow by the day, the need for spiritual grounding has never been greater. Whether it's global crises, personal struggles, or the silent battles that weigh heavy on our hearts, this surah reminds us that Allah's mercy and guidance are always near. Get ready to discover why this surah holds such a special place in our hearts and how it can bring ease to your life, no matter what you're going through. Life is filled with unexpected challenges, moments that shake us to our core and make us question everything. Whether it's the sudden loss of a loved one, a financial crisis that leaves us feeling helpless, or an illness that takes away our strength, these moments of hardship can feel overwhelming. In times like these, it's natural to seek comfort and reassurance, to find something that reminds us that we're not alone. But have you ever noticed how, during such times, people instinctively turn to a particular surah? Whether at a hospital bedside, during a financial struggle, or even at funerals, it is recited repeatedly, as if it holds the key to unlocking peace amidst chaos. Imagine this: a young man burdened by the pressures of life, feeling like he's drowning in debt and uncertainty. No matter how much he tries, it feels like he's stuck in a never-ending cycle of failure. He prays, he works hard, but nothing seems to go right. In his moments of despair, his mother reminds him, "Recite this surah, my son. It will bring you relief." Skeptical but desperate, he turns to the verses and slowly, a sense of calm washes over him. This is the reality for many of us. We face hardships that leave us feeling broken and lost, yet we often forget that the answer lies in the very words of Allah. The Quran was revealed as a source of guidance and mercy, and among its verses, certain ones resonate deeply with the struggles of the human heart. Allah says in the Quran, "And we send down in the Quran that which is healing and mercy for the believers." Surah Al-Isra, 1782. But despite knowing this, many of us still struggle to find peace. We live in a fast-paced world filled with distractions and endless worries. When difficulties strike, instead of turning to Allah, we seek comfort in temporary solutions, distractions, social media, and the advice of others, forgetting that true solace comes from the divine. Many people also wonder if simply reciting a surah can really bring relief. They struggle with doubt, feeling that their faith isn't strong enough, or that their sins have distanced them from Allah's mercy. Some even think that they are too far gone, too broken to be healed by the words of the Quran. But Allah reminds us in the Quran, "Indeed, with hardship comes ease. Surah Ash-Shar 94:6. This verse serves as a powerful reminder that no matter how dark life gets, Allah's relief is always near. The challenge, however, is to truly believe in this promise, to turn to the Quran with sincerity, and to trust in the wisdom it holds. The question remains, why this specific surah? What makes it so special that it is the go-to solution for people in distress? Is there something deeper that we haven't yet realized? When hardship strikes and the heart feels heavy, Islam offers a profound solution that brings comfort and reassurance, turning to the words of Allah. Among the many verses in the Quran, one surah, in particular, stands out as a source of immense relief and blessings, Surah Al-Fatihah. Surah Al-Fatihah, known as al-Kitab, the mother of the book, holds a special place in the hearts of believers. It is not just a set of words we recite in prayer. It is a powerful conversation with Allah. It is a plea for guidance, mercy, and strength in times of need. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The opening of the book, Al-Fatihah, is the greatest surah in the Quran." Sahih al-Bukhari. 1. The healing power of Surah Al-Fatihah. The beauty of this surah lies in its comprehensive message. It begins with praising Allah's lordship over the worlds, reminding us that He is in control no matter how difficult life may seem. When we say, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, all praise is due to Allah, Lord of all the worlds. We are reminded that our hardships are not random. They are part of Allah's divine plan. Recognizing Allah's mercy in Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim assures us that He is always compassionate and kind, even when life appears harsh. Furthermore, the verse, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, you alone we worship and you alone we seek help from, reaffirms our dependence on Allah's help, offering a spiritual anchor in times of crisis. 2. Trusting in Allah's plan. Islam teaches us that trials are a means of purification and elevation. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "No fatigue, nor disease, nor sorrow, nor sadness, nor hurt, nor distress befalls a Muslim, even if it were the prick he receives from a thorn, but that Allah expiates some of his sins for that." Sahih al-Bukhari. Understanding this hadith allows us to shift our perspective. Our difficulties are not punishments, but rather opportunities to draw closer to Allah. Surah Al-Fatihah reminds us that our trust should always be in Him, and through our hardships, Allah's wisdom unfolds. 3. Practical steps to incorporate Surah Al-Fatihah in difficult times. Reciting Surah Al-Fatihah with sincerity and conviction can transform our struggles into moments of spiritual growth. Here are a few ways to apply this surah practically in our daily lives. Start and end your day with Surah Al-Fatihah. Begin your day by reciting it with reflection, asking Allah for guidance and strength throughout the day. Use it as a dua, supplication. When you feel overwhelmed, recite Surah Al-Fatihah as a personal prayer to seek Allah's help. Recite it over yourself or loved ones for healing. The Prophet, peace be upon him, encouraged using it as a means of ruqyah, spiritual healing, for both physical and emotional ailments. Reflect on its meanings. Take time to deeply ponder the meanings of each verse and how they apply to your current situation. This practice helps build a stronger connection with Allah. 4. Strengthening patience and hope through Surah Al-Fatihah. One of the greatest gifts of this surah is the hope it instills. Allah reassures us in the Quran, indeed, after hardship comes ease. Surah Ash-Shar 94:6. By consistently reciting and reflecting on Surah Al-Fatihah, we reinforce our faith that relief is near. It teaches us patience, reminding us that Allah's mercy is always greater than our difficulties. Every trial we face has a solution in His divine wisdom, and no hardship lasts forever. 5. Stories of transformation. Through Surah Al-Fatihah, many believers have experienced firsthand the power of this surah in their lives. There are countless stories of individuals who, during their darkest moments, found peace and guidance through sincere recitation of Surah Al-Fatihah. Whether it was someone struggling with illness, financial difficulties, or emotional turmoil, the surah served as a lifeline, offering solace and clarity. Conclusion. In times of despair, Surah Al-Fatihah stands as a beacon of hope, a reminder that Allah's mercy and guidance are always available to those who seek it. When we embrace its teachings, apply them sincerely, and trust in Allah, we find not only relief, but also the strength to face life's challenges with resilience and faith. No matter what difficulties you're going through, turn to this powerful surah and let its words remind you that Allah has a plan and He will never abandon you. Surah Al-Fatihah is recited by millions of Muslims worldwide, especially during difficult times. It serves as a source of comfort and guidance. However, there are several misconceptions and doubts surrounding its recitation in times of hardship. Let's address some of the most common misconceptions with wisdom and clarity, ensuring we align our understanding with authentic Islamic teachings. Misconception 1. Reciting Surah Al-Fatihah alone will solve all my problems. One common belief is that merely reciting Surah Al-Fatihah will instantly resolve all difficulties without taking any practical steps. While it is true that the surah carries immense spiritual benefits, Islam teaches us that effort, tawakkul, and action must accompany prayer. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasized the balance between reliance on Allah and taking practical measures. He said, "Tie your camel first, then put your trust in Allah." Tirmidhi. Clarification. Reciting Surah Al-Fatihah brings barakah, blessings, clarity, and inner strength, but it should be complemented with sincere efforts, seeking help, and working toward solutions. Faith and action go hand in hand in Islam. Misconception 2. Surah Al-Fatihah should only be recited during prayer. Some individuals believe that Surah Al-Fatihah should only be recited within formal acts of worship, such as salah, prayer, and not outside of it. This notion limits the profound impact and blessings that this surah can bring into our daily lives. Clarification. In reality, the Prophet, peace be upon him, and his companions often recited Surah Al-Fatihah outside of prayer, using it for protection, healing, and seeking Allah's guidance in everyday matters. It is permissible and encouraged to recite it frequently throughout the day to bring peace and barakah into one's life. Misconception 3. Reciting Surah Al-Fatihah is only for times of calamity. Many people associate Surah Al-Fatihah solely with times of distress and neglect it during moments of ease. They assume that it should only be recited when something bad happens, such as illness, financial difficulties, or emotional struggles. Clarification. Surah Al-Fatihah is not just a remedy for hardships, it is a constant source of guidance and protection. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught us to recite it regularly in our daily prayers, and it is a comprehensive supplication for all times, good or bad. Seeking Allah's guidance through Surah Al-Fatihah should be a consistent habit, not just a reaction to hardship. Misconception 4. Reciting Surah Al-Fatihah multiple times is an innovation, bid'ah. Some individuals worry that repeatedly reciting Surah Al-Fatihah for specific needs or healing purposes may be considered an innovation, bid'ah, not rooted in authentic Islamic teachings. Clarification. Islam encourages the recitation of the Quran for healing and seeking Allah's help. The Prophet, peace be upon him, himself used Surah Al-Fatihah as a form of ruqya, spiritual healing, as narrated in authentic hadith. Some of the companions of the Prophet recited Surah Al-Fatihah over a man who had been bitten by a scorpion and he was healed. Sahih Bukhari. This demonstrates that reciting Surah Al-Fatihah multiple times with the right intention is a practice rooted in the Sunnah, not an innovation. Misconception 5. If I don't feel immediate relief, my recitation is not accepted. Many people expect instant relief after reciting Surah Al-Fatihah and feel discouraged if they don't see immediate changes in their situation. They may think that their recitation lacks sincerity or that Allah is not responding to their calls. Clarification: Allah's wisdom operates beyond our understanding, and patience is key. In the Quran, Allah reminds us, indeed, with hardship there is ease. Surah Ash-Shar 94:6. The benefits of reciting Surah Al-Fatihah may not always manifest immediately, but they work subtly by strengthening our faith, providing clarity, and bringing peace to our hearts. The key is consistency and trust in Allah's perfect timing. Final thoughts. Surah Al-Fatihah is a powerful gift from Allah, meant to be a source of healing, guidance, and connection. Dispelling these misconceptions helps us appreciate its true value and apply it correctly in our lives. When recited with sincerity and understanding, it transforms our hearts and strengthens our trust in Allah's wisdom, no matter the circumstances we face. By correcting these misunderstandings, we can ensure that our approach to Surah Al-Fatihah remains pure, effective, and aligned with authentic Islamic teachings. Imagine a young man named Ahmed, a hard-working father of two, living an ordinary life filled with the typical ups and downs we all face. One day, out of nowhere, his world was turned upside down. He lost his job, his savings dwindled, and the burden of providing for his family weighed heavily on his shoulders. Sleepless nights, unanswered prayers, and an overwhelming sense of despair clouded his heart. He felt completely lost, convinced that there was no way out. One evening, as he sat alone reflecting on his struggles, his elderly mother approached him. With a gentle smile, she placed her hand on his shoulder and said, "Ahmed, whenever something bad happens, turn to Allah. Recite Surah Al-Fatihah sincerely, and you will see how Allah's mercy unfolds." Her words struck a chord deep within him. Growing up, he had always known Surah Al-Fatihah as a part of his daily prayers, but he had never truly reflected on its power and meaning. That night, with tears streaming down his face, Ahmed recited Surah Al-Fatihah repeatedly, not out of habit, but with deep sincerity. He reflected on its meaning, seeking guidance, asking for mercy, and affirming Allah's sovereignty over all affairs. "Guide us to the straight path," he whispered over and over, as if those words were his lifeline in the storm of his life. Days passed, and while the situation didn't change overnight, something within Ahmed shifted. He felt a sense of peace that he hadn't felt in months. The weight on his chest began to lift, and he found the strength to keep moving forward. Opportunities he never imagined slowly began to surface. A friend unexpectedly called with a job opportunity. His financial situation gradually improved, but more importantly, his connection with Allah deepened in a way he had never experienced before. Through his journey, Ahmed realized that Surah Al-Fatihah was not just a collection of words. It was a divine remedy for his heart and soul. It reminded him that Allah's guidance is always near, and that patience and reliance on Him bring relief in ways we cannot comprehend. Reflecting on his ordeal, Ahmed now shares his story with others, encouraging them to turn to Surah Al-Fatihah whenever they feel lost or hopeless. This surah is not just something we recite in Salah, he tells his friends. It's a direct conversation with Allah, a plea for his help, and a reminder that he is always listening. His story is a testament to the transformative power of sincere faith and the unwavering hope that Surah Al-Fatihah instills in our hearts. It teaches us that in the darkest moments, Allah's light shines through, guiding us toward relief, healing, and a renewed sense of purpose. So, the next time life presents you with challenges, remember Ahmed's story. Take a deep breath, recite Surah Al-Fatihah with sincerity, and trust that Allah's plan is always in motion, working in ways you might not immediately see, but in ways that are best for you. Take a moment and reflect. How many times have you faced challenges in life where you felt completely lost, unsure of where to turn? How often did you find yourself searching for answers, seeking comfort in places that left you feeling even more empty? Now, think about those moments when you turned to Allah, even if it was just for a brief moment, and whispered a heartfelt, Ya Allah, guide me. Surah Al-Fatihah is that plea, that conversation with Allah, and that source of hope we all need. It's not just a surah we recite out of obligation. It's a powerful key to unlocking peace, clarity, and guidance in our lives. Next time you face difficulty, instead of letting despair take over, make a conscious effort to recite Surah Al-Fatihah with sincerity. Feel the words as they flow from your heart. Guide us to the straight path. Let these words remind you that Allah is always near, ready to guide you towards relief and success. Here are some simple steps you can take today. Incorporate Surah Al-Fatihah in your daily routine. Don't just recite it in salah. Recite it when you feel overwhelmed, when making decisions, or before starting something new. Make sincere dua. Ask Allah to open your heart to understanding the deeper meaning of this surah and to grant you strength through its message. Share the message. Encourage your family and friends to reflect on the power of Surah Al-Fatihah. Remember, Allah's guidance is always within reach. All we need to do is sincerely ask for it. If this message resonated with you, take a step towards strengthening your faith. Like this video, share it with others, and subscribe for more Islamic reminders that bring peace to the heart. May Allah guide us all and fill our lives with barakah. Ameen.